tonight, he's drunk. And
You're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
All right, Tom Konopka's here with Jonathan and Ggreg Chaille.
Wait, are we saying his last name?
It's not his last name. It's not your last name, is it?
Yeah.
Ah, shit. You know what? I thought... Well, no, that's on his Twitter. So, yes, we are saying his last name. Yeah. But I thought because your Twitter handle is your middle name.
John Mihailovich, yeah.
So I thought I finally figured it out that you wrote Jonathan like it was short for this unpronounceable last name was Majigilvillagich.
So I like full names. It's quite good. Keep going.
I thought you were being cheeky by saying because it's short for this unpronounceable fucking Russian name.
He thought you were being clever.
Yeah.
Clever is oftentimes in the UK a slur. Oh, aren't you fucking clever, you fucking cunt?
Yeah.
Clever means, oh, you think you're fucking funny? You're not.
But I've always thought, I mean, some people in this world still get like offended, like really offended by swear words. And, you know, sort of, and particularly in the UK, you know, like, cunt is just like a term of endearment normally, you know, it's easy to be friends with. But some people, you know, still get very offended by sort of swear words.
In a country where they say cunt all the time? Anyone's offended?
Yeah, sometimes.
No,
and people in America particularly, like you call someone a cunt, you get which I found to my...
Oh, absolutely here, but the UK, I didn't know that was an issue.
Less so than here.
Yeah.
But with some people.
I would always bring up over there, I don't know if it's on a special, but I would bring up, Valentina, you lived in Massachusetts, the package store, you call it the Packy. You're going to the Packy.
In Massachusetts?
Yeah. It's a package store. It's a packaged liquor. It's a state-run thing.
They sell to-go liquor.
And it's the equivalent of the N-word in the UK for Pakistanis. Did you say? And I would go, listen, when I did that bit about you're trained to respond negatively to words, whatever they are. Like, and like I can say Packy because that meant a liquor store to me. But over here, see, I'm saying Packy, and you're cringing every time I say it. But I don't cringe saying that. I cringe using the N-word when I have to use the word to quote someone.
Yeah.
But I don't have that with Packy. You do. See, you're still cringing. It doesn't affect me at all.
You fucking cunt. You can't say the P word.
I know. I cringe at Packy when it's Sunday and you have to drive to New Hampshire to get beer for football. That's why I cringe.
Packy's an interesting one. That's like, it's still in usage. I mean, it still just has like the ignorant laziness of an ignorant racist in that they're normally referring to Indian people and not people from Pakistan. and my favourite one of all time was I used to drink in this rough cider pub in the last town I lived in the UK. It was just full of tarmackers, like asphalt guys who did asphalt, and they just crazy, often racist, unpleasant drunks.
I've always been against asphalt for that reason.
And there was one
asphalt,
guy,
as you say it.
There was one guy. Well, we call it tarmac, but there was one guy in there who was sort of flirted with sort of.
Tarmac sounds like a racial slur.
Yeah,
tar baby. Tarmacs.
But he was drunk and he was in the bar.
Black Irish.
Exactly. He was
Tarmacs. Oh, maybe is that Scottish?
Exactly.
But he was railing just.
Glad I corrected myself before we get the barrage of tweets.
Anyway, this guy was railing to this audience of idiots in the bar. He said, you know, I don't mind Indian people. It's fucking Pakis that I... No, he said... What was it? He said... yeah, it's Pakis I hate. Indians, I don't mind them. He said, Indians, they're all right. They fought for us in the war. But what he didn't understand, and you may not know here, was that actually Pakistan was part of India under British rule. And then after the Second World War, which he was talking about, it was divided up by the British.
Except for the disputed...
So they were all region? Indians then in the war. But yeah, I hate Pakis. Indians, they're all right. They fought for us in the war. Yeah. And it was one of those moments where I thought, shall I get into this with a conversation? And then I just thought, no, this could end quite badly.
Kashmir, that's what I was looking for. The disputed Kashmir region.
Oh, where the sweaters come from.
Yep.
Great
Fuck
song.
those Packies, too. Kashmirians. Kaj Mahal. We were talking, which led us to hitting record, about the days of yore where Ggreg Chaille and our good friend who we haven't heard from in a while, gay cousin Eric, were here. How did this conversation even start?
Well, I want to say that it started way back when I said Tom remembers the first words, the first thing you said on stage. And it started that whole thing of like that cascade of remembering.
Yeah, that tripped it off.
Of like all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden Doug could remember where you were, where Tom was sitting.
I remember an open micer I followed and the shit I gave her.
And the where Tom was sitting in the audience during that show. But if I would have said, "Hey Doug, do you remember your first show with Tom in the audience?" You would have gone, "I guess."
Yeah,
but like that whole thing, it was like all of a sudden an avalanche of details that came through. Yeah. And we were talking about other times where.
Well, Tom
younger men were acting
like a
out.
role model for me as far as funny goes, not as a stand-up, but as we used to riff in telemarketing over the wall. And when he came to my show and I kind of ate shit, I'm like, I wish Tom hadn't have seen that.
No, but you didn't eat shit. That was the thing. It was funny, but from your perspective, it was this is why you are who you are. But it was quite the beginning, my friend. Quite the beginning.
I talk like this out of the side of my mouth with like a half New York accent.
I've seen the clips. I saw the clips when you were better than what you're talking about now,
right
and it was bad.
No, you weren't hitting it quite as strongly at that point. It was all you were more down, more guttural.
Well,
do you owe Tom money? Because he's being very polite right now.
At this point, we're beyond even. Let's put it that way. No.
History.
I owe Doug about 1 million ditches. Thank you, Douglas.
So we get into this conversation. I don't know how it came to this story, and if we've told it on the podcast before, my listeners are as drunk as I am, so fuck it.
If I've ever said anything, it wasn't in any detail because I've actually squashed.
You have tape of this.
I've got video
footage.
Oh shit!
We're doing mushrooms, and
this is a long time ago.
It's a good start.
I'm always the first one down, generally. Gay cousin Eric's down here. It's before any of this is really built, and gay cousin Eric, he's probably 20 at that point. He's a kid.
We had the RV here, the FunHouse.
Chump storage.
There was an old beaten up RV that you got from Butters. Someone connected with Butters, I remember.
No, Butters, that was who we sold it to. Butters' dad, friend bought it. But I bought it from Sandy, a local guy in town. $1,500 old piece of shit.
It had shag carpeting in it. Shag carpet, just to give you an idea of the smell of
with
this
70s dandruff.
Oh, everything, yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah, not new shag.
And we sat in the front. I remember we sat in the front, and I think I've done this. This may have been the second time I ever did mushrooms. First time was in the desert that first year. And we sat there, and I remember you and I hanging out, feet up, hanging out, looking at the world through the lens of
spectrum of mushrooms and an old shitty RV.
And it was fucking beautiful. And then you peeled off at one point, and I kept kind of figuring out what was happening. And I remember gay cousin Eric, I was like on the other side where the addition is going in now. I remember looking at blades of grass and like just that trippy thing where you're like, what is grass? And then I remember gay cousin Eric coming over and, yo, Chaille, what's up? And I'm like, Jesus. And it just everywhere I went, I couldn't find Doug anywhere. And then everywhere I went, gay cousin Eric
in the
was
labyrinth of my 984 square feet of house. He couldn't.
Well,
find
I was also tripping, and I was kind of in
one
peril.
blade of grass to another is a distance.
And finally, he ended up going off somewhere. I remember I was in your closet for hours.
You've been in the closet for decades.
But I remember being in there for a very long time, and then I started drinking tequila at 6. a.m.
At some point, I had told gay cousin Eric, because he's new to town, that there's a big hill right behind us, 2 blocks over, that looks out over Mexico. And I go, it's very steep and slippery rocks, and
we've talked about
watch your footing.
Yeah.
But if you get up there for sunrise, so he went up pre-dawn. It's just
Snake
getting
bite's just what you want when you're tripping, isn't it?
Yeah. Vaguely blue, and he went up there tripping his balls off. Not a veteran by any means.
We're at 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
Just to remind everyone.
Yeah.
It's to walk the
It wins
driveway
you if
here
you don't
sometimes.
smoke.
Oh, yeah. I had to stop 3 times. It's uphill. It is fucked.
There's no road. There's a service road that ATVs go up.
Eroded as fuck.
And now it's razor wired.
Yeah.
But at that time, so he went on a sojourn and got almost to the peak of the crest of the hill in pale blue, and fucking Border Patrol helicopter comes up on the other side of the hill and puts a big spotlight on him. He's a kid tripping his balls off, not knowing the landscape.
Shows up.
Yeah, exactly.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Exactly.
Step away from the cell tower.
Don't move.
That's the joke, is gay cousin Eric isn't gay or my cousin, but we called him gay cousin Eric to hide the fact that he's Jewish. That's the running joke. So he starts running away from the spotlight. You can't run away from the spotlight. Have you not watched KCAL 9 in fucking Los Angeles? And your fucking 3-hour fucking slow Bronco chase? Yeah, you can't ditch the helicopter. But he gets back down. He tells me this after the fact. I've napped. I wake up to Chaille and gay cousin Eric and some vagabond wanderer outside, just the biggest black pupils and slurring. Yeah, we're having a cook-off. What the fuck? What?
Gay cousin Eric is right now. He's a professional chef. He does. He works
Which is great. He probably doesn't go by gay cousin Eric anymore, so we can use his name. His former pseudonym we can use liberally.
Your name badge says GC Eric. What is going?
Gold Coast.
Hi.
He was going to school.
There it is.
He actually works at like spas and stuff. He does very healthy food, right? Well, at the time, I don't know how
he had gone to culinary school.
Yes.
You guys have some.
I was so drunk. I was like walking around with the tequila bottle, and I came up with this idea. I was like, why don't we let's make breakfast. We'll go to Safeway. And I think I drove, and we get there, and there's this. I would say a cowboy, but I was corrected. A cowhand.
Maybe that's the name of the podcast, is I Think I Drove.
The cowhand is sitting out in front of Safeway. Nothing to do, because he just got dropped off from like punching cows or roping hay or whatever they do.
Whatever they do.
And he doesn't.
Roping hay?
He just got dropped off. And I don't know what my pitch was, but I said, basically, you want to come back and we'll make you breakfast if you'll judge this contest between me and this fella over here. And he got in the fucking truck and came over here, and we proceeded to make, and I had all the video. This is when I first started videotaping you on when I would go out on tour. So I had all this video equipment, and we videotaped it as if to be like an episode of Chopped or whatever the thing that was out.
Of the day.
And having gay cousin Eric, and the gag is that gay cousin Eric was going to actually make an omelet, and then they were going to film me. I actually bought a chocolate cake to throw the cake into the, like, I'm throwing like full eggs into the thing, and then I put in like green
shells
beans
and all.
I crushed the egg over the top, and I'm wasted, and we're still drinking, and this fucking cowhand either was super hungry or he might have thought he could stay the night, because he didn't fucking flinch, man.
It was like 7 a.m.
And I go, don't worry, it'll be good. But I'm loading in a chocolate cake on top of it. I'm throwing in pieces of cake. And then gay cousin Eric cooked his, and then mine was there, but I don't think we ever cooked it. And then you came out to see this guy basically judging the contest.
What the fuck is going on? Long story. When Chaille I've seen Chaille in this state before. First of all, right now, Chaille, we hit Chaille at Comedy Happy Hour where you're perfect. Yeah. But yeah, when I'll never forget the image of you in broken cake clown makeup after a mescaline trip in the desert. Standing guard at the
with
RV
gay cousin
door.
Eric.
Yep.
He was there too.
He was the one who said, buy this mescaline. I go, we don't know those people. Why are they at our party? Everyone's paranoid about cops.
We had the RV. Matt Becker was dressed in an egg suit.
Yep.
I had the
deviled egg. It's a giant styrofoam costume.
Yeah.
Head to knees is a egg, but it's got horns. I'm a deviled egg.
And then I'm a clown, but I'm like kind of the Bobcat Goldthwait Shakes. I got a wife beater T-shirt and the fright wig and just the smeared makeup.
It's night before makeup, and now the sun is coming up in Death Valley in the summer.
I remember at one time,
early summer.
I remember at one point, Becker and I both tried to put as much watermelon in our mouths at the same time. So I had not only mustard stains on the wife beater T-shirt, but just I just vomited up like watermelon, and there were still seeds on my shirt and everything.
Beautiful.
And when
it was
tripping,
after the mescaline,
you every detail, blades of grass, every detail in your face and your countenance was just frowning. You wouldn't let me in my own RV. Nope.
Well, see, what happened was Bingo freaked out, and Bingo took 2 hours to try and put on a flip flop. Seriously, it's like, all right, I'm going to watch you, but I took it the same time everyone else did.
And Christine Levine just knocked Dr. Dims off his fucking lawn chair and sent him off. Like, they're going to kill you if you don't leave here. We were going to, well, I wasn't, but other people were actually plotting a murder going, wow, we were about to do that. You better leave for your own safety.
Doug, you were tripping. Bingo was like out of her tit, but then
this is Death Valley for the listener. This is not
Panamint.
Yeah.
So Bingo, she was harmless because she couldn't move. She didn't want to go anywhere without the flip flop on, but she couldn't get the foot in there, So I'm like, oh, she's basically tied to where she's standing. Tethered. And then gay cousin Eric and I were trying to maintain like watch Bingo, and then Andy. Something dark with Andy because he was hiding like under like the bumper of the RV because Doug and I, everyone else rented the rooms. Doug and I were too late to rent the rooms to the party that we put it together.
Right.
And we had to get an RV. So our RV is in the parking lot across from the hotel, and Andy is cowering as if there's hawks coming at him, and he keeps putting his arm up and screeching. And I'm like, this mescaline's not working for me. Nothing happened to me.
For you?
I never, until Bingo finally slipped her foot in the thing. We put her where she needed to be. Andy fell asleep, and then I found you, and that's when I saw your breath came out in words, green words. Yeah,
I remember exactly where we're standing.
Yeah.
Yep, right in front of room 3.
And then after that is when we wouldn't let you. We did a good cop, bad cop bouncer, where the egg and I were the bouncers to get in the RV.
Yeah,
and you just wanted to go to sleep.
Remember vividly.
Becker and I were like, "I'm sorry, we've got a strict 1 in, 1 out policy." And Bingo's sticking her head out the window, going, "Come on, baby, let's go to bed. Come on." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do unless someone comes out. We can't let you in."
Like averting eye contact, like a real bouncer, where he's like, no, but he won't look you in the face. Just no.
Yeah.
And that happened for so long.
I won't deign you the fucking.
Right.
Yeah. Nah. Beat it.
And the madder you got, you played along the whole time, but the madder you got, the funnier it got to me and Becker. We just kept doing it. The best. With watermelon and mustard and a faded face. Yeah.
Is it break? It is. I'm going to call break time because we're going to get back to gay cousin Eric and the cowhand right after these messages from things that you have to. You have to
buy them.
Buy them. Yeah. and use the promo code. It's usually Stanhope. I don't want to spoiler alert. I should have said that first, but yeah, the promo code is Stanhope. Anything you buy, just use promo code Stanhope. If you go to a Taco Bell at a drive-thru, drunk at night, go, yeah, and it's promo code Stanhope. All the time, everything you buy, always say promo code Stanhope. What do you mean? Oh, I guess you're not hip. Click. Cocktails!
This is Chad Shank, and when I'm at Stanhope's, I drink plastic jug vodka.
'Cause there ain't no other option. Plastic Jug Vodka. What's your favorite brand? Tweet me at Doug Stanhope or tweet Chad Shank at HD Fatty. That's HD Fatty. Hyman Doberman Fatty with a Y.
Hyman Doberman?
I don't know.
Hey, this is Ronda Rousey, and you're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
We are back. Chaille said, I thought that story was done. Well, no. What became of the cowhand? We'll start with that. Do you even remember? Because I don't.
There's a couple things I remember. I remember he was very
Gay.
No,
that's Eric who's not gay.
No.
The other one. Third base.
The cowhand was very appreciative of, I think, the fact that we were hanging out with him. Because I think he really didn't have anywhere to go. I mean, he got dropped off at the Safeway because they were done at the ranch with him. But I don't think it's because he had a home to go to. So I think it was cool to chill and hang out. But I don't remember what became of it. All I remember is I kept telling him,
someone
don't
had
worry,
to bring him back.
You don't have to eat this. I kept saying, you're not going to have, because he's watching like going, Jesus, with the cake and whatever I'm throwing in that thing. I'm like, this will not be something. But he could have been thinking, they're going to kill me.
No,
So,
I was thinking,
he
was thinking, oh, it's only a matter of time before these guys pass out and I can rifle through their pockets.
There you go.
Or maybe he was just thinking, I haven't eaten for 3 days.
That's
because
true.
I can't afford to, and they're just pissing around
I always
with
put
food.
chocolate cake
Yeah.
in my scrambled eggs.
Throw
We
it
doctored
away.
it up so that we actually cut gay cousin Eric's portion in half, so they both looked similar, even though there was no chocolate cake in one. You could but the videotape we had of the whole thing, when we gave a bunch of videotape, I had a lot of videotape that was accrued over the years with Doug from, I think, back in 2005. I started videotaping stuff. Hennigan got all that because he had a way to digitize it, and that's one of the tapes I would not let go. And that's what we were talking
Hannigan
about.
swears he has it in his crawl space, which is not a crawl space, but I don't. We've questioned him extensively about the missing tapes.
When you're drunk,
And I always say he's holding on to this so he has something to sell when I die.
It's just insurance. Yeah.
It would have been an early age if I had already died, but now it's just expected.
The missing. It sounds like Hennegate. That's it. Where's
But
the missing?
I held 2 tapes back. One of them definitely. I mean, that was footage that you bought the tapes, Doug, and I shot all the footage. It was really. I at my discretion, I go, I'm part of this. I'm not letting that one go. And that was one other one I grabbed, and it may have been one to, like, kind of like the mushrooms in Anchorage type thing that you didn't want out.
Well, Chaille's one of those people where when he's that fucked, you go, oh, Daddy's drunk. Daddy's supposed to be in charge. Daddy can't drive a car right now. Like, you always expect
Daddy
Chaille
can't spell
to have
car.
his facilities.
of course.
And he gets this evil leer when he's drunk. Every time you've left the podcast because I said something that you found offensive, like, when are you like, go, hey, listen, I'm trying to close up here. Fuck you, I'm leaving. That's when you're drunk. You had that look of I'm evil.
Oh, I still
Evil
remember that
Chaille.
story I was going to tell, and I'm like,
Oh, go ahead.
No, fuck no.
What?
You pissed me off, so I fucking left the podcast. I had a good story that I was going to tell on that. Not for this podcast. It was back then when that happened.
What was the story?
Well, you're not tricking me into it.
Shit, don't get hot about it, Chaille. Hey, come back. Jesus, fuck, you did it again.
You're acting like there's only one time you've stormed off the podcast because I was
That's the only time I can remember.
That's one, Chaille. The other one, it was when he gets whacked and takes his pants off and sits on you.
This day, I believe we still had the nest, the original nest set up in the living room where I had the bed. There was the couch that you have downstairs.
Yeah.
They had one half of the L-shaped couch on one side and then a queen-size bed and then the other half. The entire thing was Flophouse. Yeah. It's kind of like that now, but it's lawn furniture for the dogs on the I remember we were all sitting in there watching it wasn't My 600-Pound Life. It was like they did one-offs. Discovery Health would have.
This was before the series started. I think this was what spawned
But they would have like I remember Face-Eating Tumor was the name of the show. It's not a series. It's a one.
I think you're right. It's either Discovery or National Geographic where they've got that division where they do this gross out fucking.
Back then it was like just a one thing. And it was, I weigh 1,100 fucking pounds. I think it was, whatever it was.
It was about
It was that Mexican guy, the 1,100-pound guy.
Yeah.
Because we all had him in death pool for a while.
He had the Indian doctor who was the specialist on taking care of him. Yeah.
This is, let's say it was, you went to bed at 7 or 8. Now it's about 1 in the afternoon. So we're watching this 1,100-pound guy. And you woke up and
my 1,100-pound Sweet 16? Is that it?
Again, it was a one-off.
Doug,
and wait, hang on.
I think he's got it.
You got it?
No, sorry. You were just talking about that. You mentioned your nest. I've got a new word for you.
All right.
Hibernacle.
Hibernacle
is a dormitive animals, which is a winter sleeping animal, retreat.
Hibernacle.
So it's not your nest,
hibernation,
it's your
tabernacle. I got it.
Yeah, that's good.
Fucking love that.
Sorry.
Hibernacle.
At least you interrupted with something important.
Tweet that word at me, listeners. As you're fucking humping around with a forklift at UPS. Throwing fucking big slabs of frozen ground beef into a backdoor loading dock. Whatever you're doing. You're driving around doing something, listening to podcasts.
Pack less, do more wheelies, as we were saying the other night.
And use the word hibernacle in a sentence today. Say it to your boss. Say, listen, I need Monday off. It's a long weekend for me. I need to get into my hibernacle. And they'll think it's some kind of religious... Yeah. You got to let him...
Man, is it that time of year again? He's going to take Monday off?
The Holy Hibernacle.
It is February.
Chaille wakes up from this all-night tequila mushroom bender after sleeping for 4 or 5 hours. Comes out of the room right when it's one of Chaille's. Chaille has one job, but he has many Achilles heels. And one of them is an 1,100-pound man having 2 women prop up his fat roll, one of his many fat rolls, to wipe out underneath with a cheesecloth.
No, it's like on a stick or something. They can't even get their hand in there. Which makes me wonder what happened.
Maybe that's where they originated the term cheesecloth. Because they're wiping out under his stress source.
Yeah.
And Chaille, look! And Chaille ran right back into the bathroom and vomited profusely. So we paused it so we could show it to him again and again because we know, he'll puke at this part.
To be fair, I was picking at the chocolate cake eggs. That might have been part of it. I mean, a good chef tests his own, making.
I think that's when we found out, we can make you puke. Because when my 600-pound life started, a decade later, probably.
The irony is that I get very squeamish about real blood and real gore and stuff. And some of it might be empathy for like the 1,100-pound. Because my brother and my brother's company, and I've been working with him for 20 years now, it's all blood and gore. I mean, I could show you easily. My brother's got this fucking new burn technique. Like I was just showing Bingo's mom.
If you're recent to the podcast,
Sorry,
Chaille and his twin brother, they have a special effects company for haunted houses. So they make the most grotesque things, but they're fake.
My brother goes, I go, hey, what's new for this year? He goes, well, the burn technique from last year, I got an acid wash, so it looks like you burned them with acid. And I can look at that all day. And I go, you know what? We really need a little more purple tint on the fucking edges. Yeah. But if I look at the 600,000 pound wedding singer, it is really weird where I some of it's empathy, but at the same time, that
fucking
cheese,
gross.
Just you saying, that's where they came up with the name cheesecloth. That's enough to fucking get me.
I think I've said this on the podcast before.
Pressure sores. That's I said stress. Pressure sores.
I think I've said this before, but you have to be careful what you look at, and like particularly on the internet thing, because there is no such thing as mind bleach. You know, once something has been seen, you can never unsee.
No, I talked about this about someone, and I hate you to this day. It was an ISIS video that I thought it was too. I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
No, it was worse than the throat cutting. It was a fire, burn to death thing. And I thought it was so high quality that I thought it was like some kind of spoof that
special effects.
You love this. Like it's a funny, gag,
scary movie, whatever.
Yeah. And I go, oh, fuck. And I still can't get that out of my head.
Yeah. I still remember we were making the fucking album cover. I was working at Real Networks. I knew a guy who was a graphic artist, and you wanted to you couldn't get the fucking Die Laughing cover done because you had that spec.
Such a great story.
Renee's had some fucking artist that was going to do this thing, and it took forever. And I go, dude, I got a guy here. He's the guy who did all this stuff for Hedberg. The incense and the cinnamon roll incense. Like, he's a cartoonist. He's a really good, and I go, this guy can do it. And all he had to do was put the words. He was just titling. And you go, we need the right picture. And I go, well, send me some pictures of what you want to do. And then you started sending me these things, and they were all from rotten.com. And I'm like, dude, you can't send me this fucking shit. This is fucking, and you're like,
that was Joe Vernon, by the way. You found the picture. This is a great story.
You go, I got another end to this that I don't know you know about. The pictures, Chaille, are not real. This is all special effects. And I fucking just, all right. And I remember the picture that I'm like, dude, I don't know. And it's a head on a wrought iron gate outside of a fucking, like a big high rise.
Sky candy.
Like the Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
But it's sitting on there. The guy jumped off the fucking building and his head stayed and his body is on the ground. And I'm like, and Doug's like, dude, it's fake. It's clearly fake.
Wait.
Clearly fake.
Do you remember? It was Kid Rock's drummer's girlfriend. We played the Emerald outside of Detroit and whatever that suburb is. And Kid Rock, it was Shawcroft. I think it was the same night as the Rotten Hot Tub.
No, it was Aaron Juliuson is the bass player.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. I had pulled my balls out on stage. So I'm fucking hammered at this point. I could barely, but I'm leaving the gig and, she's like, he pulled his balls out. And I said, no, they're prosthetic balls. Look, because my balls are so hanging, someone would believe that must be.
Nobody makes prosthetics that look like that.
Of course. Well, if you're going to do a caricature of long balls, I have the template. So I pulled my balls out. I go, no, this is what I do. It's there because I'd get arrested if they were real balls. So I have this. I go feel them. They feel real. And we're walking to the next bar and she's feeling them. And then we all start laughing. She's like, oh, you fucking asshole.
That was the Emerald Theater in Mount Clemens.
Mount Clemens,
next, do you remember right next door?
I want to go back there because I got fucked over and like all the audiences were the worst. But now my audiences are better.
Boo a Girl is the video I put up from that. And that was the first night of the tour.
They booed Shawcroft for being Canadian.
Yeah. She's like, I shouldn't have worn a dress. I shouldn't have worn a dress.
That's what it was.
But remember, next door, we all went next door, and Aaron Juliuson was Kid Rock's bass player at the time, and he was always showing up on tour with Hedberg when I was tour managing that. And he was always a blast, but he was always, it was party time when he was around. And we all went next door to see, there's a bar right next to the thing. And the fucking musicians were amazing. They were all they were all doing covers, but it was so much fun. And that fucking night is the night that afterwards when we went back and the fucking hot tub in the morning when we drained the water, it looked like the bottom of an ashtray.
Days in. Yeah. You know, the lauded Days Inn, but it was the closest.
The only hotel in the area, actually.
I would rather stay at a 1-star that's close to the gig than a 5-star that I have to figure out how to get back to. And so we had some kind of suite that had a hot tub in the room. Suite.
Yeah.
Honeymoon, if you are a Days Inn honeymoon kind of guy. It's a Days Inn room with the same polyester sheets or bedspreads.
We had Shawcroft, Brendan Walsh, and
dudes and Shawcroft.
No, and who's
18 dudes and Shawcroft.
Who's the other guy? He was Peoria. Crazy.
Oh, Travis Lipsky.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Remember, we're
flicking ashes in the hot tub. We're just sitting there.
Hold on. We get to the venue and we get there and then we check in and go, we're going to go to the hotel and see if we can get in. We can't get in yet, but we pull in and next to the only other car and there's a guy in the car and I look over and he's tilting back Tall Boys. It's like 3 PM, Tall Boys. And Doug's like, hey, there's Lipsky.
Yep. I remember that happening in Des Moines, Iowa. I remember that a million times. He didn't want to check in early, so he's just sit in a hot car, drink fucking to get ready for the show.
Oh, yeah.
At 3 p.m. He's getting ready for the 9 p.m. show by hammering fucking Tall Boys. I forget where the fuck we were.
We get to the hot tub, and we get into that room, and the party went back after we were at that bar.
No, we were at prosthetics with your brother.
Oh.
I have no idea why, but if you being scared.
Well, he shouldn't be able to puke, but he has.
They're just fired. The prosthetics, it's like you kept telling me that these pictures you kept sending me were fake. They're all staged and stuff like that. And then we ended up getting the picture, and then we did a limited run of Die Laughing. It was black and white.
Okay, that's the good story
and
I have.
The picture that came from Joe Vernon, and it was a picture of a head
of a child.
I don't know. 10. You can't really tell because it's so fucked up. But it's sitting. I just found one of these CDs, by the way.
I have some in the crawl space.
It's sitting on a tray in a coroner's office. And it's just got this kind of sideways look, smiling.
His face is like mutilated with knife wounds.
Yeah, but it's tanned because it's so old and well,
it's black and white too, so you don't know if it's tan.
The way it's stretched, you can tell.
But the lips are cut so badly that it looks like it's smiling. Yeah. So Die Laughing, a dead kid.
I'm just about to see some puppies.
It was perfect for Die Laughing, and I know I don't have the rights to it.
No,
but I wanted to get that.
We contacted them.
Wait. Okay. No, this is the good story. Joe Vernon sent me that from rotten.com, and I go, oh, this is perfect, but I know I can't use it, but I want to get this out as soon as possible. Because I taped it in a.
You were waiting too long for an artist to finish.
It was 30 days after 9/11 that I taped it, and I want this out. So I have this perfect cover, but I put temporary cover. So, like, if someone sues me, I don't fucking know. Cut to years later with Ggreg Chaille that night because we went out to dinner. I was wearing a ridiculous suit I found in a thrift store. Christine, I won't say her last name, so Chaille doesn't have to edit this much. My old fucking flame that never unreciprocated. We went out to dinner with them, but that day we went out thrift store shopping. I found this fantastic suit and weird sunglasses, 70s leisure suit. And then we went to a bookstore and we're just... And this guy, it was a detective from the 40s or something. He had all these autopsy photos from crime scenes. And I'm just with her because she likes books. She's the one I wrote that whole bit on what's the one I don't address? The Great White Stanhope. That first album I shouldn't have done. It's mostly a piece of shit. I took the best parts and made it into Sicko, and it's still a piece of shit. I was a kid. I was mostly pussy, fuck jokes, and jack off stuff. But I did this bit about Kafka, because I read Kafka, because this girl was smart. And, there's the picture.
Oh, fuck. God, it is smiling.
Yeah, look.
I forgot you did a temporary
Jesus
cover on there.
Christ.
That's fucking great.
That is fucking scary.
Vicious puppies.
I'm out with her. She loved my vintage fucking 70s thing we went to dinner that night with. And I found this book that I'm thumbing through while I'm in a bookstore with her, trying to act like I'm some kind of fucking intelligentsia. And I go, this is the picture from, look, Christine, look, that's Die Laughing cover. And that's when I contacted them, where this is early days of internet Google. It might have been Mr. fucking whatever. What was before Google?
Jeeves? Ask Jeeves?
Ask Jeeves. It might have been that. Where I'm like, hey, I have a picture. I want to use it. How much can I pay for? Never heard a word back. But, yeah, that's the perfect cover for Die Laughing.
No doubt.
Instead, I went with Renee's artist friend who made that sucks.
Fuck.
If people bought CDs anymore, I would go right back to the original cover.
What year?
2001.
2002.
Well, you
2001. Yeah, 2001 I recorded it. And then 2002 was word of mouth, which I still, fuck. All right, I'm not going to get into. But there's some rights issues about word of mouth and no refunds. But we're going to address those in this new year.
I contacted through the in the back of the book.
Yeah, that's
the
what
book
I
it came from. I contacted. I reached out to someone, anyone.
Nope. Don't say reach out.
It's still
it's an appalling phrase.
Yeah. Moving forward,
really
I did. I tried. I mean, I used due diligence to try and at least contact the person and say, "Hey, look." And since we only did, I think we did like 150 or something of the original ones. We didn't do a lot because it was a small run. But I tried to contact him and say, "Look, we love your work." It's a fucking crime scene photo. It's
Yeah, I don't know how that works with
because of that. I didn't know.
Yeah,
what do they call that with where a song's been out for so long, where it's
public domain.
Public domain.
Yeah. Oh, domain.
Yeah, that kid should be. I think it's a kid. It looks like a kid to me.
But Chaille, you said he's got a tan. Fuck
you see what I mean? Though it's like it's so old.
Until Chaille brought up the picture right here, I didn't remember it this bloody.
Oh.
Eyewitness testimony is the least
reliable. Yeah. Reliable. Yeah. Well, like you said, it's bloody, but it's black and white. I don't know how you can tell it. That's tanned.
He died laughing.
He did.
He sure did.
But what happened was years later.
No empathy vomits from Chaille on the fucking dead kid with his
I'm so used to this one because my brother who employs
a lot off the screen.
My brother who employs a lot of I looked for it. He employs a lot of sculptors out of LA to do work for him. And he actually had a sculptor do that face. And it's on the website. It's called Doug that you sell.
And I don't get a copy.
Did you want one?
Put it over the giant-sized mailbox we're trying to buy. That would be great.
That's a nice homage.
Yeah, I fucking what? Oh, you don't want one? You want one?
Of course I want one. I've asked you about it in the past. You're like,
No, you never did. Why would I say no to that?
All right.
Oh, I don't want your brother to work that much. Maybe I was. I might have been.
You just said yes.
Hey, don't go out of your way for me. I'm fine. I'm happy with what I have. I'm having a bad time. I picked up a cow hand, and I feel bad enough. I don't want your brother to go overtime for me.
Trying to see if it's on. Oh, there.
That is fucking gruesome.
Very similar, isn't it?
Very similar. I think he took some liberties, but it is called Doug.
Oh yeah, that's not it.
Well, they put hair on it. I think it's the eyes.
He made it into me if I was that kid.
Look, forget the hair. Forget the hair.
That looks like
But
that.
the eyes like welded
That
shut.
looks like Dwight York's corpse.
And
Yeah.
Hey, that's a fucking... Anyone who knows Dwight York, that's a fucking...
And definitely, there's the teeth. I didn't even notice that before until I saw the Ghost Ride one.
Well, yeah, the new version, your brother's version, is more my teeth.
When you were sleeping, I got an impression.
When you said about my green breath coming out visually
in words,
Death Valley,
you
also went, man, those are the biggest fucking horse teeth I've ever seen.
Oh, I don't remember that. I'm
do.
sure you do.
Yep. Shit sticks with you. You stop smiling. I remember Renee had this fucking... There was an old smoker commercial where the guy's like, and he had the worst fucking smoker's teeth ever. And this guy that was a friend of Renee's, he had this like hideous, like warning smokers commercial smile. But he smiled relentlessly. And I remember thinking, I fucking love a guy who knows his teeth are destroyed. Like fucking, not Brian Hennigan, but James Hennigan, was it? Who? The comic in Seattle.
Oh,
he had that hair.
Tree. Didn't they call him?
No, Hennigan. James Hennigan. He's a Seattle.
Didn't they call him Tree?
No, Tree was a bald-headed fucking...
Oh, yeah. No, they called him Hennigan.
But Hennigan, I have a picture of when Hennigan met Hennigan. But...
That rotten tree.
Not separated at birth.
Yeah.
But yeah, Halloween teeth, and then I had him. I got him. I made fun of him. Now I have those teeth.
Oh, my God.
Are you pulling something up, or are we
I'm
done?
looking for James Hennigan, because
I don't know if it's James.
This is making great radio.
He was a funny comic. He had great Vietnam stories.
Yeah.
Well,
about stepping over the fucking parents to go fuck the kid or something.
We're trying to get people to go to the YouTube feed where I can put these pictures in. So we're leaning into it, but we haven't committed.
Not moved over to video yet. Then.
No, we have. I just didn't have time, and that's what that is.
Have you put any videos out?
No, they're not out. He just records them for his own personal spank bank.
Yes.
No, it was funny on that one. I didn't get credit. Shut up, Tracy. I'm jerking off too much.
Another one where I don't storm out. Jesus Christ.
Well, I think you killed this one, Chaille. But we'll never know what happened to the cowhand.
Where is Tracy in town?
She's cooking food for the big party.
I'll see it tomorrow.
Yeah, the big game.
Yeah.
We can't say it because of the worst Super Bowl ever. But that shows us our evergreen.
I hate to do it, but
fuck up
I don't
every evergreen.
Look, it doesn't matter. The thing is that when I went to watch the real football, soccer, this morning, which, by the way, 2 shitty games were
Bournemouth
on.
Against
fucking horrible games.
Cardiff.
And then all the other games, the good games, Watford and Everton playing Tracy's Everton playing your Wolverhampton.
Woo!
Oh yeah. Wolves! You need NBC Gold to watch it, and I go, where do I get that? And I can't find it on the fucking cable thing. They had like 6 games that were not on regular TV. So anyway, my
New Year's resolution, and my New Year's is after Super Bowl, so is spend less money. And we have like the fucking hockey package on the TVs.
We don't need
have
it.
NFL package.
All white noise.
It is. But I found 866 on DirecTV has fucking light classical music.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking thank you for all of the magnetic signs you've sent for the fucking Red Roof Inn shuttle bus. Yeah. They said, you have XM radio. You had a free 3-month thing. And I didn't even know that till they said it's about to expire. And I go, I don't need XM radio on a third car.
No, that was the one.
And I said to the lady, why don't you have classical music? Like when you're driving, and I just drive around a lot of times back desert roads to write. Because no one's going to show up. No one's going to fuck with me. I have no distractions. I have no cell phone reception most of the time. why don't you have classical music? And she goes, well, we have classic rock. Fuck you.
Classical rock.
How do you have XM,
600
Sirius?
channels.
Yeah, they have everything.
There's no classical music.
They have the Detroit traffic. You can go to whatever major hub city and get the traffic report. Classical music, you have 18 genres of fucking whatever's pop. Whatever's in the top 40 now.
Different versions of pop.
Well, all right. It's we're going to have to go this week. We're going with the top 26 because no one really listens to terrestrial radio. So we couldn't quite hit a top 40. So we have 26 songs you might have heard in a fucking gas station. Or in some idiot fucking 19-year-old's car blasting bass music at a red light next to you. But we don't have that many songs that anyone listens to.
Yeah. We got Back in the New York Groove on the cello.
Horrible.
Hey, Doug, isn't that how you listen to Kasem, though, on XM Sirius?
What, from Beyond the Grave?
Let me give a plug to that. If you do have... Because I do, in 2 cars, I have XM Sirius, or Sirius XM, however you say it. And 70s on 7, if you're my age, on Saturday mornings, Tom will appreciate this.
Yowza.
They have the entire Kasem American Top 40 from whatever, some year that was like... 40-some years ago today. Yeah. This is Kasem, and we have a long-distance dedication going out to, and they count down the top 40. So I'll just drive around. I'll drive the long way to Sierra Vista and then the short way back and just listen to fucking Kasem, American's Top 40, 70s on 7. If you're stuck with satellite radio, they have NFL, they have CNN, which I'm out.
The one that just canceled was the one you got from Stern that you gave me. That's the one that just canceled.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Thank you, Howard Stern. It was great. It's a good run.
But do they have the gap
Did we ever
bands?
shit on Howard Stern for sending me the thank you, the Christmas card? I tried to sell his Christmas card on the eBay yard sale.
Yeah.
I get always the thank you for being a part of the...
Yeah, when you... Right. Promoting your book last time.
Yeah, so I tried to sell it on eBay. It came back
not authenticated.
Buyer's remorse.
No, someone tried to authenticate the signature, and it's not Howard Stern's signature whatsoever. Fuck.
That's what Tracy said. Because I said, I guess the Sirius XM that we got ran out because the last time Doug was on.
Oh, the Buick.
Yeah, and she goes, "Well, can you go back on Stern for something?" I go, I'll try. I don't know.
What, does he tear off a voucher?
When you're a guest, they give you a web subscription.
Okay,
and it's for everyone, which is great. Which is great.
Gift bag, including a. Finally, it ends with a Christmas card that he didn't actually sign, and you try to sell on eBay. Oh, but here's the fucked up part: is when I sold it on the eBay yard sale. I said all the proceeds for this auction will go to North Shore Animal League, which his wife is the
Beth
runs.
She doesn't run it.
So not only did I had to refund the money to the
No!
buyer, I had to pay North Shore Animal League, which I'm not against, but it was like a double fucking whammy loss.
Yeah.
I look like a cheat.
Yeah.
I have to pay what you didn't.
Sorry, it's just one thing, the FunHouse. The only bar where you get served by a lawyer.
Let's drop that. Hey, do you want to drop your...
Valley Girl.
Valley Girl. That's good. Javelina.
Thank you.
FERP.org is also... I don't know if you know this, Javelina. Ever since you were on the podcast... FERP.org is always in the show notes as a worthwhile venture that we would like everyone to look into. And the Innocence Project, those two.
Absolutely.
I was going to go a different direction, but we've hit this podcast. But at some point, podcasts ago, we were talking about when Border Patrol
stole
all our drugs and made her cry.
And wouldn't give me a receipt.
And you wouldn't fucking tell me the details
I love that,
in time
that you
for the
can
podcast.
say, give me a receipt.
All right. So one
Just to
day
be a
we'll
smart
get her
fuck.
to, I hope you're filing paperwork against those cocksuckers and you have their names and you tweeted or texted me the names of the 3 fucking Border Patrol agents.
Oh, sure.
At the Fort Huachuca border stop.
Hey, why don't we end this and, I don't know, have a couple Baileys for Javelina over there. A couple of Bailey shots.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means.
I don't either. We're going
A
to
little
run
tipsy. She gets a little tipsy.
No, she doesn't drink.
Nothing tells the truth like a drunk.
You're thinking about gay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Gay doesn't
No,
drink
she
either.
She doesn't drink.
Bingo's mom, you mean?
Why would you do that? You're the one who said I had to fucking take that name out of a thing. We've talked about gay power. Remember the joke? We talked about gay power a million times. Bingo's mother is named Gay, and then her dad starts this electric company off he's got a creek running through.
Hydroelectric power where they get paid by the company.
Yeah, so he can sell what he doesn't use for power back to the power company. And he goes, hey, you're creative. Help me come up with a name because I have to start a corporation to sell all my electricity back to the electric company. And I go, well, why not go with gay power?
After your wife.
And put that sign on your front lawn. If you love your wife enough, he didn't do it. He doesn't love her enough.
It's only funny if you do it.
Good night. That's a podcast. Click. Did you hang up? No, I just said click.